the underground compost tunnel trick that feeds your plants non-stop. You know, most gardeners spend years chasing the perfect fertilizer. Yet the real game changer has been hiding right under our feet. The biggest yield-killing problem in most garden beds isn't poor soil or lack of nutrients. Honestly, it's the roller coaster. Plants get fed heavily one week, then starve the next. Growth surges, then stalls. Roots stay shallow, stressed and constantly guessing where their next meal will come from. But what if your soil could feed your crops steadily, day and night, in every season, without constant work from you? That's the hidden power of the compost tunnel method, a decades-old system quietly making a massive comeback. And today on Crop Corner, we're unlocking the full, modernized version of this buried nutrient engine, and how you can build one right in your backyard. Once you understand how it works, you'll realize why sprinkling compost on the soil surface or mixing it into the top few inches only scratches the surface. Those layers dry out quickly. Microbes slow down the moment conditions shift. Heavy rain washes nutrients away. Your plants get bursts of goodness instead of continuous nourishment. That's why growth becomes inconsistent, why soil stays hungry, and why roots never reach their full potential. The compost tunnel system solves this instantly by moving the decomposition process underground, into a protected zone where moisture stays stable, microbes stay warm, and breakdown continues around the clock without interruption. The idea is brilliantly simple. Instead of letting organic matter sit on top and disappear in the weather, you build a long, narrow trench between your planting rows and fill it with layered compost materials. Think of it as an underground, slow-release nutrient generator. As the materials break down below the surface, they send a steady flow of minerals, organic acids and natural fertilizers outward into the root zone. Roots grow toward it naturally, like a magnet. Over time, these tunnels create fertile corridors that supercharge plant development, strengthen soil structure, and dramatically improve water retention. So, to build one, you'll want to aim for a trench about 10 to 12 inches deep and approximately 6 inches wide. This size is just ideal for ensuring steady airflow and decomposition. Now, at the bottom, lay a 2-inch layer of coarse material such as chopped stalks, straw or small sticks. This foundational layer acts as a breathing chamber, allowing oxygen to move through the tunnel and keep the decomposition aerobic and healthy. On top of that, add a 3-inch layer of green material. Fresh grass clippings, kitchen scraps or manure all work beautifully. These high-nitrogen components spark fast microbial activity, which is exactly what we want. Next comes a 2-inch brown layer made of shredded leaves, cardboard strips, or older mulch. Finally, cap the entire trench with a 2-inch layer of soil. This will lock in moisture, prevent pests, and begin the gradual blending process with the surrounding ground. For a 10-foot tunnel, you'll be looking at using roughly 1 wheelbarrow of mixed compost material. The ideal balance inside the trench is 2 parts green to 1 part brown. You see, this ratio keeps microbial activity humming along nicely without letting the tunnel turn soggy or, heaven forbid, anaerobic. As the materials break down, the soil above the trench will slowly sink a bit. That's your signal, really, that the system is at work, feeding your plants from below while keeping everything clean, controlled and odour-free. Now, the true magic of compost tunnels, if I may say so, is what happens inside them. Beneath the surface, away from those oxygen-starving conditions and harsh weather swings, microbial life truly flourishes at a level that surface compost simply can't match. Beneficial bacteria, fungi and actinomycetes colonize the tunnel, breaking down organic matter into plant-ready nutrients. It's quite a marvel, really. They release enzymes that unlock previously unavailable minerals. Quite fascinating, isn't it? They help roots absorb nutrients more efficiently. It's all part of the wondrous cycle of nature at work. They even form symbiotic relationships that improve plant resilience against drought and disease. If you want to push this microbial engine into overdrive, feed it occasionally with a gentle worm tea solution. Mix 1 cup of worm tea with 10 cups of water and pour it directly along the tunnel line every few months. This diluted mixture refreshes microbial populations, boosts nutrient cycling and helps maintain a thriving underground ecosystem. One of the most gardener-friendly aspects of the compost tunnel method is how easily it integrates into any existing layout. You don't need to rebuild your garden beds or redesign your rows. Simply dig a tunnel between every second or third row of crops. In a 4-foot-wide tomato bed with 2 planting rows, place 1 tunnel right down the centre. For closely spaced crops like greens or herbs, a tunnel every 18 inches supports steady, even feeding. Roots instinctively reach toward the tunnel, no guidance needed, creating stronger, deeper, better anchored plants. Within a few weeks, most gardeners begin noticing richer foliage colour, sturdier stems, and noticeably improved drought resistance. With nutrients flowing slowly and consistently, plants avoid the growth spikes and crashes associated with fast-acting fertilizers. Everything grows steadily, with less stress and fewer deficiencies. Perennials, especially fruiting shrubs and berries, respond incredibly well to compost tunnels. Dig your trench just outside the drip line, and the plant's roots will stretch outward to reach the buffet of steady nutrients. Because the tunnel sits away from the base, you never disturb the crown, and you provide a year-round source of fertility that supports fruiting, flowering and root development. But the long-term benefits go even deeper. Over time, the decomposition happening underground reforms the soil structure itself. In clay soil, the tunnels act like biological aerators, breaking up compaction and encouraging earthworms to flourish. In sandy soil, they function as moisture reservoirs, holding water longer and keeping nutrients from washing out. Small regenerative farms using compost tunnels have seen moisture retention improve by more than 40% in just 1 season. Earthworm populations double. A single 10 by 10 bed with 2 tunnels can process up to 200 pounds of organic waste annually without flies, odours or traditional compost pile maintenance. After building your tunnels, upkeep is minimal. Every 3 to 6 months, just reopen the top layer, Add fresh green and brown materials using the same layering method, water it well, and cover it again with soil. After about a year, the entire tunnel merges with the surrounding earth, enriching everything around it. When that happens, simply dig a new tunnel beside the old one and continue the cycle. Over time, your garden becomes a living network of underground nutrient lines, each season improving the soil more than the last. What makes compost tunnels such a timeless, reliable method is how naturally they fit into the rhythm of garden life. No piles to turn, no hauling loads of compost, no waiting months for decomposition before your plants benefit. Everything happens right where your crops need it, quietly, efficiently, with almost no effort once installed. If you found this guide helpful and want more powerful, proven growing systems that stand the test of time, make sure you subscribe to Crop Corner and share this video with a fellow gardener. Let's help more growers create gardens that feed themselves from the ground down.